All right, designers, y'all ready for some upcycling? Our homes are filled with textiles that end up in a landfill. Upcycling is all about extending the life of textiles by giving them new purpose. Chop, chop, girl.
This is a competition show, reimagined and refashioned.
And that's what you'll be using for today's challenge.
Your task is to transform them into one wearable garment that is stylish.
You will have 5 hours.
I'm gonna do a cocktail gown.
You're making something from literally nothing.
Make it funky, make it fresh.
I got a unicorn. What am I gonna do with this?
Did you measure the dress form before cutting? Bam!
She's driving me nuts.
The clock is ticking.
Oh, y'all look concerned.
Show what you got.
This is the hardest part.
Oh, my hands are beat right now.
It's just so disappointing. I think I'm done.
Oh,
I'm here to win, so I gotta go off.
I see what you did.
Up your game, up your fashion with UpCycle Nation.
Welcome, my name is Phaedra Pistone. I'm with Level 21 TV and Magazine here in Charlotte. So welcome to the show, Paige and Andrew. I'm excited to interview you guys. I've been following you on social media, checking out your stuff, what you've got going on. Andrew, tell us about your background and what got you started in upcycling clothing for fashion.
Yeah, so I've always kind of just been interested in, fashion and just, kind of dressing nice, really into middle school, early high school. Didn't really have, money to just buy a bunch of, new clothes and all that. So I took to thrifting like freshman or sophomore year of high school. I was like 14 or 15. And just through social media influence and just already having that kind of love for just fashion, one thing led to another. I got inspired by some people online, and I think for my 16th, I always say 16th, it might have been 17th birthday, I can't remember, I asked for a sewing machine,
Nice.
And just kind
Not
of...
your typical gift for a 16, 17-year-old. Love it.
Yeah, no, it's not. But, played around with it here and there, and, like I said, didn't have money to buy, a ton of new materials and stuff. So I was just getting stuff at the thrift shop, and I might like a shirt with a certain pattern or design, but I think it'd be cooler, as something else. So I was kind of upcycling without realizing it was upcycling, this was before then. So, and that's just kind of how I got into it early on.
I love that. And Paige, I'm going to turn the same question to you. What got you started? What inspired you to upcycle your clothes into this amazing pieces of fashion?
So my mom has always sewn, and like both my grandmas sewed. So I've just grew up sewing, and I actually started just making like little stuffed animals and stuff when I was little. Like my biggest thing, I made like a ton of sock monkeys when I was in like 5th grade. That was like my favorite thing to make. And then like I've always just been a big DIYer because my mom was. So she's definitely like the person who just led me on the path that I'm on today. But during like when I got to college, I started making like tailgate shirts and stuff because like, college shirts are kind of just like blah, like it was just t-shirts.
Right.
So I like reworked the men's shirts into like cuter clothes. So that's really what started my upcycling, but I've always been into sewing. But like since 2019, 2020 is when I really like picked up the upcycling fashion stuff.
I love it. What got you guys started into upcycling? Like, how did you hear about the show? How did you connect with them?
So I actually just got reached out from like a casting agency, and I had no idea about the show, but I was like, that sounds really cool. And I was like, they were still like looking for other designers and stuff. So I was like, well, actually like my boyfriend does the same thing as me. So, and they were like, oh, that's so cool. Like we actually wanted to have a couple on the show. So it worked out perfectly for everyone.
I love that. I feel like you guys are like the dynamic duo that you have together. Andrew, when you were casted for this show, like what was that phone call or email or communication like? Like, how did that roll through?
Yeah, so, like I said, Paige had kind of told them about me. So she had her interview with them, I think, they asked some questions, why, all about the show, our background, kind of like this, but asking why we think we need to be on the show, this and that. And, so she went before me. So I had a little, idea of what they were going to ask. Throughout the interview, though, I felt really confident, just, with the answers and the reactions I was getting. So I told her right after, I was like, man, we got this in the bag, like we're going to get at least passes, and I had a good feeling about it. Sure enough, I don't know, a few weeks go by, maybe a month, I don't remember, but yeah, we just get an email. But it's funny, the first email is like, congrats, you've been potentially selected to be on the show. We're like, okay, so
what does that mean?
and then a couple more emails kind of like that, but then we ended up getting on there, and yeah, just had a blast.
I love that. What has been for you the most inspiring part of being part of the Upcycling Nation competition?
Oh yeah, no, it's awesome. Just kind of the impact I'm able to have just through sewing and making videos and stuff. I've spoke with elementary school kids on Zoom. I was like talking to art classes, and I got like messages after the fact talking about, oh my gosh, like it's so cool what you do, and just it's really awesome when I can I do like custom quilt hoodies as well. So I've had people send me their grandma's quilt who passed, or one was really nice. They made a video. Her mom made it, but she ended up passing. But I was able to, just turn something so meaningful like that into, something they can repurpose and use day to day, just through upcycling and things like that. So
I love that. Paige, what has been the most inspiring part of the Upcycling Nation to you?
I really just love being a part of like a community of people who are not just creative, but also care about like sustainability and the environment, because fashion is like one of the most polluting industries. So, it's great to express yourself through fashion stuff, but I really like this new wave of fashion that is a lot more eco-conscious, because like fashion isn't a necessity. So I think it's important that we kind of reel it in and not be as bad on the environment. But I think like with the new upcycling has become so popular that I think it's a good thing. I hope every designer and every brand incorporates that in their own lines and stuff.
I love that. I have to tell you guys did inspire me to bring my sewing machine out. I have my, I'm not sure
That's
what I'm
awesome.
gonna do. Not as good as you guys. I'm more of like a bedazzler, like rhinestone person.
Yeah, that's
But
awesome.
I'll tell you, watching you guys, I was like, oh, maybe I can take this piece of clothing or this bag or something and put it together. So I thank you guys for putting your creativity out there, opening yourselves to the community, to the public, to social media, to share your talents, because I feel like that's such a lost art. And you're right, clothing is not it's a necessity, bringing it into fashion and having it and recreating it in so many different ways. How do people, if they want to watch, because I know the final's coming up, the final show, speaking of the final show, can you guys give us any insight to the final episode?
It was really intense.
Can you
You
share?
can't really say specifics, but it's definitely a good episode to watch. It's very stressful in the moment and stuff. It was a very long competition, so there will be a lot of. I'm excited to see it, all condensed in one episode, because we were working for quite some time.
I love it. I'm excited to see it. Andrew, is there any insight you want to share with that, or kind of go with what Paige said?
yeah, she pretty much hit the nail on the head. I mean, it was a great experience, stressful, but I would do it all over again. Paige, I don't know about Paige, but
I thought it was pretty stressful. I don't know. It was just kind of hard. My first time ever being on TV, because being on social media, it's a lot different. You can just
Yes.
cut yourself. You're talking to a camera. You're not talking to a bunch of there's people all over. And then also it being a competition show, that was definitely a big it was a stressful day, but it was fun. It's really cool to look back on for sure.
I love that. And I love that you guys are a couple. And I'm excited to see how that kind of plays out in this final episode.
Yeah, I was glad. Personally, I was glad to have someone to go through with, because it was really a lot of nerves, but at least I knew someone.
I love that.
Yeah.
So how can people watch the show? Where can we find the show? Where is it going to be?
So I know it's streaming on Fuse. So what I would do is go to the Fuse Instagram. They'll probably post a link of where to stream it.
Okay, awesome. And if people want to get in contact with you guys, how can people reach out to you if they have questions? Or like I say, you've inspired me to bring my sewing machine out, you guys. So I found you. How can other people come in and find you as well?
Andrew.
Andrew, go.
I see most of my DMs on Instagram. Sometimes it can get busy, but I have my email in my bio as well. Like my personal work email, and then through my website there's a contact page as well. So there's multiple ways. I'm gonna see it one way or another for sure.
What is your social media handles?
Mine is Wendy the Maker.
You were hard to find.
Mine's just my name, Paige Sechrist, on pretty much everything. It's the same for me. Instagram DMs are pretty much like the only DMs I really check, and then my email is also linked in my Instagram bio.
I love that. One last thing, what has it been like being a part of the show? Like, what has it meant to you as a designer, a fashion content creator? What has the show meant to you?
I would say, it was really dope just being part of that bigger picture, like the whole upcycling community. And also, it just kind of puts it in perspective. Like, me and Paige both been working so hard on just building, our community and platform since end of 2019, early 2020. And to just be on a show like this, making our TV debut, doing what we do now as a job is just kind of cool to put in perspective. Like, we've came a pretty long way from just starting when I was 16, 17 and sewing in my mom's basement, and now we're doing that. So that was pretty cool,
I love that. And Paige, what about for you?
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. It's just really like affirming to be like, wow, like we were, picked to be on this TV show. Like there weren't that many people on it. It was really cool that, they reached out, and we got to also like meet people. Like one of the judges, like Utopia, Peter Cho, he is like #1, like upcycling, like my idol, like I think he's like pretty much everyone in the upcycling space, like and it was just really cool to be able to meet him and like get his like critiques on your work and stuff. That was like probably like the coolest thing. But it was just cool, like very affirming, and it was like, so like all the work has been paying off, like getting noticed by like casting things. Like
I love that. So what is next for you after this is done?
Paige.
Or Andrew?
Either one. I'm just gonna keep going with the same thing. I'd love to do something else like this in the future, or but in the meantime, I'm gonna be like making tutorials and just keeping up with my social media channels to inspire people to do their own upcycling at home, because you don't have to be on a TV show or anything. You can just do it with your own closet. Like you don't have to do it as a career or anything, but it's still just cool to be able to upcycle your own pieces and like get use out of something that you might otherwise have no use for.
I love that. Andrew?
So I'm just gonna keep building my brand, like my clothing brand, Vivid Visions. Currently I do a lot of handmade one-on-one pieces and kind of branching out in there. Just keep doing the videos, things like that, sharing the work, creating content, and just working with brands. And me and Paige gonna really try and kind of do more videos and content together next year, because we did it a little bit when we first started dating, but a lot of these brands will reach out and they don't even know we're like together. We've done a couple deals together where they like wanted us as like a package deal, but we've had a couple things we were doing like with Samsung, and they reached out to both of us separately and they didn't even know we were together, so we're definitely gonna try and work on that together, and make some
market
cool
that a
videos.
little more. But.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. If you guys want to get, if you want to do something a little more local, I own a bridal boutique, and I've got some old sample wedding gowns that are just sitting around. So if you want to do anything with wedding gowns, let me know. I'll be glad to send some your way, because I have them.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
So, thank you guys both so much for being a part of the show today. We're excited for the last episode coming up this week. I wish you guys the best. Thank you for your time, and good luck. Happy holidays, happy new year, and best of luck to you guys in 2023.
You too. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
reaching out. I'm glad we got to talk.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us. And yeah, happy holidays to you as well.
Thank you. Anytime. Good luck, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.